Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about a particular tip that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in order to get a lot of silver, especially early on if you're a newer player. Now, this is something that I had brought up maybe about 6 months ago, but since we've had a lot of influx of newer players, especially with the Aliens and Predators collaboration, I wanted to bring this up again on the channel, and this is largely going to do with a particular dungeon that I doubt people, especially newer players, are going to be aware of, and it has to do with Spider's Den. There is a particular level in Spider's Den that has enhanced drop rates for higher star gear more than the other stages. This is, I honestly don't know why this was the case. I think it was a bug that they just never fixed, or they just left it in the way. And there are particular creators, not creators, but community members, one in particular who has tracked drop rates across all the dungeons. This is a resource that I share on my Discord server. It's a really important one to talk about drop rates, and this is why you're going to be able to pick up more silver if you're in desperate need of it. Obviously, what a lot of other people do to get silver will be to double dip using campaigns, right? Even especially early game, for my account, that's about 2 weeks in on my alt account, I am going to be doing, I do brutal 12-6. Some people do 12-3 for the shields. The reason why I don't is because the affinity is mostly spirit, which is not good for my Tholen Falbeard. So I do run 12-6, which actually has more of a mixture and has some more magic enemies. This is typically what I run for my farming, but mileage will vary depending on what AoE campaign farmer that you're using. But if you want to get more faster, you're going to want to do it in a Spider, and we're going to talk about these drop rates in the rest of the video. But before we get started, I want to remind people that if you haven't started playing yet, what are you waiting for? What are you watching the video? Make an alt account, actually, to go and do that. So you're you're more in line with what we're talking about. Get an Arm of the Return absolutely free. The QR code or in the link below, and also these amazing epics: Ugo, Tagore, and my favorite, Deacon Armstrong, at accounts level 15, 30, and 40. And because we're going to be farming a lot with Tholen Falbeard, use the promo code Demon Slayer within the first 48 hours of the brand new account to get this amazing dwarf DPS. Okay, so the stage in question is Spider Den Normal Stage 10. Now, depending on where you're at in the game, this may or may not be possible for you to clear yet. So for me, it's a little bit easier because I'm running, and this is not a guide to how to clear Spider. This is just what I'm using that gets me through on my account. How you get there and how you're able to clear this, it's not super deep into the game, so I would imagine that within the first month you should be able to clear this for sure. But if you have Tholen Falbeard as your main AoE DPS, this will definitely help. Also, you can pick up Madame Saris for free. If you followed one of my tips from my previous videos, go check that out as well, especially in the last week or so. There's been a lot of new player guide videos out there for the channel. I managed to pick up Farrakhan the Fat, and I just happen to be using them here. Tagore for speed up, and Narma for extra poisons and things like that. But also Deacon Armstrong. Actually, I haven't changed the setup since I picked up Deacon Armstrong, which would be pretty good as well. Possibly better than Narma, because I don't expect to get hit very frequently here. So that's probably something that I should consider. So just for the purposes of this, I am probably going to swap things up a bit. I'm going to go and put a Deacon into the leader position here just to show things off. Now, before we get started with the battle, because that's not really the important thing, I want to show you guys the drop rate table. This is the... Oh, whoa, where is my... Where's my monitor? There we go. Okay, sorry guys. So this is my Spiders. Sorry, not mine. This is Ayumi Love. Spider's Den drop rate. Ayumi Love is a community member of Raid Shadow Legends. You can type it out. Ayumi, like the Japanese word. Love. Spider's Den drop. There's tables for every single dungeon drop rates based on thousands and thousands of runs, and the rough percentage drop rate of different things in different dungeons. And this is the Spider's Den version. Now we're looking at stage 10. So what's interesting to note, and I want to zoom in, I'm going to remove myself from the screen here just so I can share with you guys here. But if we zoom in, these are accessory ranks, but also the types and the rarities. What's important here is if we zoom into stage 10, right, this column here, it has an 81.8% chance to drop a rank 5 accessory. Now, that's pretty wild given that stage 9 just before it was at 23%, and the one directly after it is 40% on stage 11. Now, unfortunately, if you are wanting to farm stage 10, you are having to have a lower drop rate of banners because as you go up the stages, you do have a higher percentage chance to get a banner drop if that's something you're looking to farm. But if you're looking just to farm silver, then this is a pretty good idea because you're getting an 82% drop rate of a 5-star gear piece. And you really don't see that until I guess until because 6 star is going to sell for more, but really, you don't even start hitting that until you're well, like let's say well into like stage 17 and above, where you have like a okay chance of getting a 6 star, which is going to sell for silver a little bit more. But you're also trading that in for more energy costs, so that's the thing too. So having an 82% chance for a 5-star drop piece very very early on is not only good for selling for silver, but it's actually good for gear too. If you need accessories, this is the best stage for you to farm to get some 5-star gear. This is actually pretty good for new players as well. Now, it is a 60% chance to drop green. So there are going to be some green drops here in stage 10, whereas once you get to stage 11, it's permanently blue or higher. So that is the downside. You also do not get any legendary drops. So that, again, the downside of running the stage 10 over some of the other stages. That's something to keep in mind. I want to jump back to the game, though, however, and let's bring myself back up on the screen. We're going to do a run here. We're going to do a super run just to share with you. I'm pretty sure this should work. Should auto it, right? I haven't actually run it with Deacon, but I think it should be the same kind of idea here. We're just speeding. It should run properly. I just want to make sure I get the Madame Sarah's defense down. Other than that, it should run how it's supposed to. Farrakhan should also do. Oh, I'm surprised it didn't go in with the A3, but I guess that's not super necessary after that with the Farrakhan's team up. And we're basically just trying to make sure he is going to eat some stuff. Honestly, we're going to probably just skip to the end where I actually win the battle just to share with you because I don't want to have you sit here for what could be possibly a minute and a half because I don't know how long it takes on my alt account. So we're going to jump ahead. Okay, so this took me a little bit longer than I wanted to clear, but that's not the point of the video. It took me 2 minutes. Uh, how did I get that best of 112? Was that with Narma maybe instead of Deacon? Anyways, I digress. So you can see here that with a super raid, basically 2 runs, that not only did I get 6,000 silver per run, but I also got 2 5-star drops, which is what we expected at an 82% drop rate. Now, selling the 5-star, I'm kind of in the part where I actually need accessories, so I'm not selling this on my alt account, but if I was doing this on my main, I would be. So here you would get 43,750 for a 5-star green banner. You do get more for selling banners, and this 5-star blue ring sells for 41,000. So combined, 85,000 plus. This is almost 100,000 silver for 24 energy. Now, some people might think, well, yeah, you have to be pretty desperate in silver to basically be farming this. And that is true. There are some people who are in desperate need of silver. But for 24 energy, this is going to be a lot more. 100,000 silver just on average is going to be a lot more than what you would get by say doing campaign farming or even just farming other dungeons because you're not guaranteed that high 5-star drop rate, especially this early on stage 10. So I'm able to do this about 2 weeks in. Actually, I was able to do it a few days earlier, to be honest. It might take some people a little bit longer, but if you're using my promo link, you should have relatively the same champions, so you should be able to do this. That being said, I want to kind of look at it and compare it in the inventory screen and just show you, for example, the different 5-star gear pieces. So this is a 5-star green ring. That's going to be 34k. 5-star blue ring is 41. Now, unfortunately, we can still get purple, but we cannot get legendary. So a 5-star purple ring sells for 55k. Now, for the amulets, which you can get as well, do I have them? I do have a 5-star purple, 60k. 5-star green, 37.5, and then a blue, 45k. So it does range from 37.5 to 60k. And then for banners, actually I have 3 right there. So Sir Sylvan Watchers, we have 43,750, 52.5, and 70k on a purple banner. That being said, you might very well just need these drops. And so stage 10 is also a very good stage to be farming, especially in the early game for just drops, whether you sell it or not. Is still something really well. So I know I titled this as how to get money quick, but really it's just how to get drops easier, I suppose, out of Spider's Den. But comparatively to some of the other pieces, right? If we're talking about, let's just say, for sake of argument, shields sell the best I'm almost sure. And then the ranks 3, 4. I don't have any threes. Okay, 4 and 5. But you're gonna get greens though, and I think I've already sold this, right? So I only have like blues to look at because I've sold my greens. I've already sold my campaign farming stuff, and that's typically what you would get. So a blue shield, a 4-star blue shield is 8,400, and a 5-star blue shield is 15,000, which I thought was the best sale prices. Let's check some of the other ones, right? Weapons 6,400, and then 5-star. Do I have here 15, 6, 15,800? Like it's really, really not very good on the silver side of things compared to the rings and the accessories that or all the accessories that we're getting out of Spider's Den. So you're gonna get, oh hey, there's a cyber. Anyways, that's not important. You're gonna get a lot more silver, a lot more quicker by doing Spider's Den 10. Now, if you're a late game player and you're able to farm like hard mode Spider, you're probably going to get more gold for that because you're also silver. Sorry, because you're I'm used to saying gold in other games because you're going to be getting those legendary, those mythical drops that you might end up selling as well. So and you probably would want to double dip with a spider tournament, things like this. I wanted to raise this more for a lot of early game and maybe some mid game players who might be silver crunched and maybe are looking for a way to get it a little bit quicker, especially with events like gear enhancement, which won't be around too much longer. But in general, having a good pad of silver for fusion events is quite important. Fusion events, Titan events, these sort of things, and making sure that you have enough silver to clear these. You typically need about 20 to 25 million silver, I think it is, comfortably anyways, to clear gear enhancements in general for fusion events. And then, sometimes there's as many as 2 or 3 across 2 weeks for a fusion event. So having a good pad of silver is really important. So if you need a way to get this quick, or at least quicker than other ways, then Spider 10 is the way to do it. And I just wanted to share this with you and also show you how it makes sense and also the amount of difference in the silver. I hope that some of this was helpful. Let me know in the comments down below. Before we go, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right to get an armor that returned the recently reworked Knights Revenant Legendary and Ugo, Tagore, and Deacon Armstrong in accounts level 15, 30, and 40. And don't forget to use the promo code Demon Slayer to get Tholen Falbeard absolutely free. Great legendary DPS for the Dwarf faction. Going to help you with your content all the way through. That's it for now, everyone, and I'll see you guys all on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.